Hey everyone, Artosis here with the CasterMuse Narak Star League. This is the round of 4, which means that we have right now a best of 7, and this is going to be between BishOp, our orange Terran, the last left in the tournament for quite a while, and Killer, our grayish Zerg in the top left. So yeah, best of 7, game number 1, first map, Polypoid. Great way to start it, great map to start out on. Kind of the most standard, normal map that you could have. And I'm super stoked. I think that BishOp has played magnificently throughout the tournament. He's been such a strong player for such a long time, and to have this top 4, this shot at the finals is awesome to see. And then, of course, Killer, I'm always talking about how underrated he is. I think he's really showing that in this tournament. He's put up some great results. I mean, hell, with that many pro gamers in the tournament, getting top 4 is pretty sick. All right, so who is favored? I think it's pretty close. Honestly, I would probably say Killer's favored, right? Killer is a guy who's been in ASL multiple times. I actually think his ZVT is very, very good. He's had, like, actually even really great games against Flash and stuff that I've seen. So I do feel like he's a little bit favored, especially if you checked out the way that BishOp's been playing. BishOp's been playing, he's definitely had some regular bio macro games mixed in. But we've also seen things like 2-Port Wraith and a little bit more cheesy stuff in there as well. So, I guess it should be close, though. Either way. Now, BishOp looks like he is going to be going for just a barracks expansion. His SCV going in the wrong direction, unfortunately. So, probably have to make for that second depot coming up. The drone coming over immediately. We'll wait for Killer here, see his spawning pool and gas timings, see if he's going to go 2 hatch or 3. And just immediately going to start attacking this SCV a little bit. Being as annoying as he can with the drone. Of course, seeing that drone come in from that direction, BishOp decides, you know what, let's just go up towards the top left. Throws down his second depot here. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it should just be probably a 2 Marine expand, could be a 1 Marine expand. And into some standard play. We'll see where he goes from there. But the gas is going to be finishing up here for Killer. So this is going to be a 2 hatchery play. And it should be 2 hatchery Mutalisk, but we'll keep an eye on it and make sure. The SCV coming, but he actually brings a drone over for a hold position. So this can be a little bit annoying to the Terran. You have 2 ways you can do it. You can just skip it, or you can try to actually attack the drone down. But with the additional drone coming up, he can't really do that. Oh! A little bit sloppy there from Killer. So he loses some mining time, and in comes the SCV. Now, where is that layer? We don't see the layer. Okay, 304. That's fine. He's going to know now that it is just layer. It's not like Zergling speed first or anything. But you got to be wary. If it's another 5-6 seconds, then it could be Zergling speed first. So, not the quickest layer from Killer. And BishOp going to lose this SCV actually pretty darn fast. He has a second SCV coming out now, but it might pass by this Overlord in the center. And if it does, it'll be hard for him to actually get the scout off. Ooh. Is the Overlord going to see it? He might have seen that out of the corner of his eye. We'll see if his Zerglings change direction. I think he did not catch it because it was just going to be a blip on his mini-map. And there was no reason to be looking at the Overlord at that time. All right, so let's take a look at this actual build. Yeah, we have the Academy coming up rather quickly. It looks like, yeah, this is going to be an Academy rush coming down. The bunker already being made. In fact, that's a very, very fast bunker, considering what we've seen here. A little bit interested about that. The SCV coming back towards the main. He's going to see a drone leaving. That's really valuable intel. He's going to see the drone count. Again, valuable intel. And Lings come down and block the ramp just in time. So he won't be able to spot the Spire. But still, the SCV did its job. A couple Marines. We're going to see probably a Medic and a Firebat made next. That's the most common thing with these Academy rushes to see. And a little a rule of thumb here, if you're trying to do a build like this, you basically need to move out. Yeah, and there's the Firebat. There's the Medic making. You need to move out before 5 minutes. And that second SCV scout we saw was actually very important, because if they go mass ling, they can actually kill your army and get way ahead. So the second SCV scout kind of went up. It saw the drone count. And you're not going to fake your drone count at your natural, because you can't just assume that you're going to be blocking the ramp, right? He didn't see the SCV coming. Anyways, the Marines are walking across immediately without any backup, which I think is actually a very good move. Looks like the Firebat and Medic ran into the Lings, and the Firebat dies, so Medic has to pull back. Oh my god. He doesn't actually have stim yet. If he targets correctly... Oh my god, he gets on top of this Sunken. Yeah, I guess you're just going to do it. Little bit wild. If stim had been done, that would have been a huge move. Look at this. Stims against these incoming Lings. Beautiful micro. Are you kidding me? That micro from BishOp. Absolutely awesome to see. Now, let's take a look at where Killer's at. Killer hasn't actually really taken damage. He was forced into 2 Sunkens, which is very normal. He lost a few Lings. Okay. Not the biggest deal, really. He is taking his 3rd hatchery in the bottom left. Of course, over on BishOp's side, that was not damage for him, right? Like, he killed some extra Lings. He did force the Sunks. He lost a couple Marines, whatever. It's all fine. It's all good. 3rd barracks is on the way. The missile turrets starting, like, what feels a little bit late, but he's actually read the situation correctly between the slowness of the layer, which was about 5-6 seconds slower than most 2 hatch plays, and then also forcing the Sunkens. He's getting the turrets a lot later, but that allows him to get a lot of other production going. Range upgrade almost done. +1, very well on the way. Now, 4 mutas coming in. Yeah, the turrets aren't completely done, but it looks like he's going to be fine. He has his Bioforce headed over to the natural. Don't forget, this Sunken took a lot of damage, so this one can pop extremely quickly. And he is getting into position to do so, but as the mutas come back, he can't really attack. So BishOp going to back up for now. I really like how forward BishOp is playing this game. Like, he is very on top of keeping that pressure on Zerg and making the Zerg feel it. Like, Killer would love to be over harassing the main base right now, but with this bio group, that's very difficult to pull off. Like, this bio group, again, it could smash these Sunkens easily if there's no other units there. All right, looking back at home, the factory right around 7 minutes, normal stuff. We have a reasonable turret spread. It's pretty turret light, like only 1 in the main can be dangerous. And now he's been over here too long with the bio. That move that we liked is now going to start to hurt him. Because look, we're getting up to the Mutalisk count that can actually just destroy this. Ooh, he actually picks one off. That's nice. But 8 mutas. I mean, you can still start to pick this off quite a bit. It's like a SCV coming down to try to figure out where that 3rd base is at. Ling's going to chase it down. Of course, we see it's down here. The Hydralisk Den already on the way, so probably into pretty standard Lurker plus Hive. Yeah, it doesn't look like it could really be anything else. All right, we're up to a full group of mutas now. 11 mutas going to be able to pick this army off over time. BishOp is bringing more Marines. Yeah, okay, he's got to pull back and actually join that, because this is like not that many Marines to fight 11 mutas, to be honest. Does he have that +1? Not quite yet. Killer, I feel like he's okay, he's waiting for +1, it looks like. I was going to say he's being a little bit shy with his Mutalisk micro here. I feel like he could have already reduced this army quite a bit. Has lost a couple mutas, but yeah, +1 is done now, so he can actually pick them off a lot better. There's more units rallying across here for BishOp, still on the 3 racks. Adding a couple starports in, +1, about to finish. He has his 2nd gas, but only 1 SCV mining, a little bit of a misplay. All right, keeping that pressure on. The Muta's actually starting to be really good here. He's picking off a lot of bio. You can see it's down to about the original size, and there's already been 2 reinforcement waves. So BishOp does not have a large army at home whatsoever. He is adding more Raxes now. He's actually having a little bit of a hard time spending his money. We've had a lot of micro over here. We've been hearing a lot of scans as well. So he's just kind of keeping up on exactly what's going on. Now with the Lings coming out, he is going to lose this whole force. Well done by Killer. But you know what? BishOp kept Killer out of his base the entire time, which is a very good move. All right, plenty of turrets being made. Yeah, adding a 3rd one down here, adding a bunch into the main base, because you know at this point, now that you've lost that full frontal Bioforce, that Zerg is going to come over and check. You know, at this level, you're always trying to skip turrets when you can, and Zerg is going to make sure that you had to make them. Coming into the natural first. Kills a few SCVs, pulls back. With Lurkers already on the way, like we have 2 Lurkers at that 3rd base. We don't see any up here, but the Hive is coming, and certainly Lurkers will soon as well. That really frees up your Mutalisks. You no longer have to utilize them for defense. Instead, you can try that harassment. You can try to pin Terran down a little bit. Bishop's starting to move out once again. Irradiate is on the way, as well as a couple vessels. He's up to 5 racks production. Second eBay finishes. So really kind of getting his macro engine running at this point. Here comes Killer with those mutas. Oh, look at this. He's going to just dive forward towards the bunker. Not sure that this is going to be the best play, honestly. Yeah, the Lings do literally nothing, and the mutas do exactly the same. So not really the best move there. It felt a little bit wasteful, but Lings are the one unit that you can kind of throw away a little bit, and if it didn't work out, that's fine. Right, more vessels being produced. Gonna have that. Yeah, Irradiate is ready. He's almost got the energy for it. Moving towards that natural. See, triple stacked Lurker underneath an Overlord. All right, very tough to deal with. Mutas as well as some Scourge coming up now. He's going to utilize these mutas to kind of cover fire so that the Scourge can connect to the vessels. If he can pick off the first 2 vessels, that's one of the strongest things you can do as Zerg. It really sets Terran back because you're counting on your Irradiates building up damage over time. That third base is up and running. A macro hatch being added, another one in the main base. I love seeing those macro hatches. Really going to help him to produce the amount of Ling, Lurker, Defiler that he wants to take that 4th base. Now look at that. The Overlord blocking Irradiates. So painful. Notice how it's floating right over those Lurkers. You can't target that with Irradiate. You got to make the Overlord move. You Irradiate the Overlord? No. But you can do things like stack your vessels on the Overlord to push it to the side. You have to be careful they don't get picked off in that time. All right, Bishop, maybe just going to rotate around a little bit. This is a stage of every Terran versus Zerg, basically. When they're completely turtle up with Lurkers and you can't quite break anything, and that's a good time to walk back and forth. You can do things like clear out Zerglings, Overlords that are out of position, check to see expansions, whether they're taken or not. And you also create some ambiguity as to where your army is. And if Zerg doesn't know that, they have to be extra vigilant at each location. All right, Irradiate going down on one of the 2 stack Lurkers here. He could actually break this. This is really under-defended. Look at this. There's like no units here. Irradiate's another one. He's not sure of how many Lurkers are there right now. Okay, a couple more come up. If he knew that was one, he actually could have stimmed up here and maybe killed the base. But Killer going to hold on. Brings up more Lurkers. Oh, he's trying to make it now. And he comes up the ramp, actually. That was really good. Up the ramp, he kills both the Lurkers. So Bishop did have that same idea coming up. Maybe it was a little bit later than I thought it should be. But now the Defiler's having to come out with those Lurkers. Darkstorm goes down. And he will push him back. But this is where you can micro really, really heavily as Terran and get a lot of value still with this army. All right, so stims forward, targets down Lurkers, and he irradiates another one as well. Look at this. He is shattering that Lurker defense, but very little left over. The mutas come in on top of everything. And this is where, oh my God, Marines under Darkstorm against mutas. That is hilarious. But the Lings come up, transfer to that area. And, I mean, I think Killer thought he might be able to get those vessels. I sure did, but now with the reinforcing units of Bishop with these 2 on upgrades, it is a lot easier said than done. Defiler eating up a Hydra and a drone for that Darkstorm. Okay, throws it down. Of course, Hydra's underneath it, going to do a lot of damage to those Marines. Another Lurker comes up, jumps under the orange cloud. And that's about it as far as this push goes. It seems like Killer did a good job defending. I think that it was good, though, as well from Bishop, right? Like, ooh, he's going to... No, I guess not. But he got up there. He forced a lot of Lurkers to be made, a lot of Defilers to be made. He picked off a ton of units. It was definitely very efficient for him, even though he didn't get a base kill. Now, taking a look at the macro. 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 Raxes right now. He's got really nice production. Yeah, he has +2 armor on the way. He hasn't actually started +3 attack. That's like a more important upgrade, but it's cost so much gas that sometimes you don't have the gas for it when you try to make it, and then you're like, oh, I'll jump back later, and then it takes you a while to remember. Okay, we have the 3rd base up and running. It looks like he's sent a few Marines. This is just to clear out any Zerglings. I'm sure he's going to expand here pretty quickly. Little forces of Marines and medics being sent all over the place. Really important to kind of choke up army movement here for Zerg. Still in a straight up fight, like attack moving, the Terran army wins. It really comes down to more static positions and defiler spells for Zerg to be able to like win battles. So what you want to do is spread these out and just make sure that Zerg has a hard time reinforcing areas. Now, a lot of pressure coming down. This is somewhere we've seen BishOp is very good at. Bringing up his vessels right now. Throwing down some good irradiates. He really wants to bust this base. This fourth base is the most crucial thing going on right now. But look at this, a counterattack coming up right now. Ling Hydra Lurker? Oh my god, we actually are going to see a Hydra Lurker Defiler game. This is getting very exciting. I didn't even notice till just now. But that is going to be very different indeed. Now, he forced a liftoff. This is not the end of the world for BishOp. It's painful, yes, he's losing a bunch of minerals, but as you can see, he actually has a big bank. It's hard to keep your macro up in these types of games. Moving the bulk of his army back up to the north. We actually don't see any lurkers here. So he has a potential to bust this location. And if he kills this location, oh my god, that is going to be huge for him. All right, does one defense matrix, tries to send it up, but it's... Okay, there you go. At least one thing is targeting it. And he is going to break right through there. These Hydras are not really that fearsome anymore. He will be able to clear that up as well. Defiler coming out, tries to target it down and is not able to do so. Stimming forward. Oh, God, he's fighting under the Dark Swarm, which means he's doing no damage. Has to pull back. Still, that was a good move. He got rid of a lot of this static defense there. He's forcing a lot of defensive units to be made, a lot of defensive moves to be made as well. Now, look at this. Scans back here, runs in with Marines and Firebats. No medics this time, unfortunately. But another beautiful move, forcing so many reinforcements to be sent through the Nidus up here that this base was under-defended. I don't think he'll get the hatchery right there, but it is going to spread the defense a little bit thin here for Killer. Killer has to send a few more units up here. These are very badly hurt. They're not going to last long. He can send almost anything, like 8 Lings would kill this. Not a rallied Hydra, though, that's for sure. Now BishOp's starting to rotate to the other location. Has a single Marine up here, which actually is going to set off the attack. Okay, splitting the army once again. Just a smaller group of Marines being sent down. Oh, what was that? Oh, you're moving fast in StarCraft, that's for sure. All right, this is getting a little bit sloppy here. He wants to get in here and take down the hatchery or something. And maybe the Dark Storms almost ran out or something, but obviously this fight where you're doing no damage to your opponent is not a good one. A few more Marines moving towards that bottom left. Now, the fourth base is still up, but he's not mining from it, whereas BishOp is. He hasn't taken his gas yet. His production is looking pretty strong, adding in some more Firebats. It's something that BishOp really likes in these situations with lots of Darkstorm, is to mass up those Firebats and try to break through. See if he's able to do that as more Firebats come. Huge plague on those vessels as well as the Marines. Targeting down these mutas is crucial. You don't want them to pick off those 1 health vessels later on. Taking a bit more damage there. Finally, drones going to be mining here from the fourth base. So important for Killer, who, by the way, it's been so action-packed. We've barely been able to talk about the fact that it's actually Hydra Lurker, which has gained a lot of popularity lately. In my opinion, it's incredibly hard to play against, especially with SK Terran. But BishOp's doing a pretty good job. Unfortunately, losing a lot of his vessels here. We see the multitasking really being stretched. A lot of attacks into Dark Swarms that are just not doing it for him. All right, stimming forward. Has to back up there. Another Plague goes down. The Plague Hydra Lurker grind. It is tough to play against. Is he going to add in? He has a physics lab for BCs, and he did make a couple, but I think that'll be about it. BCs in these types of positions on Polypoid are very, very strong because the gas is against the wall, so you can literally hold position up here, and your opponent has to make flying units to deal with them. So it's good in this situation, but in general, against this composition, the BCs are almost useless because of Hydra plus Defiler. All right, Plague goes down. Looks like Killer is starting to get on the map a little bit more. BishOp coming up with his forces. A couple of vessels left back here. Still got a reasonably strong army. Yeah, I noticed that. It's just, there's not much that you can do about that on this version of Polyvoid. Have to end up making a bunch of Scourge or something like that. All right, the Hydra's pushing through. They do have those 2-2 upgrades. 3-2 right now for Bishop with the +3 armor on the way. We have one bunker, but this is enough to bust it. Oh, that was a great stim and target from Bishop. No longer can he bust that. Gonna have to back up. Bishop keeping control of this area. Hydra's coming out to hunt the plagued units. You think Marine Medic beats Hydra, but when it's plagued, obviously anything that connects is going to be able to take it down. So cute move there. Even eating some of his Hydras here. Showing the desperation. But honestly, it's starting to look really good for Killer. I am not liking this position at all for Bishop. All right, coming forward with these vessels once again. Trying to get good irradiates down. Little scuffle going on. Still has this base, which is really powerful. More vessels being made. No siege tanks. A lot of people like to switch into siege tanks against this, but see Bishop is completely uninterested. All right, fighting under the Darkstorm and running through. Oh, he's going to get the Nidus. Now that's a big move. Oh my god, he's got to kill that Lurker. Oh, no scan, and everything gets shredded. That would have been so fantastic, but unfortunately doesn't quite work out for Bishop. Dives through Darkstorms are some of the most exciting, but they can backfire, as we see there. BC's still getting their damage on this gas. Of course, this composition, the gas is still very, very important. Hydras cost gas, Lurkers cost gas, you know, Defilers cost gas, so a really nice move with those BCs. All right, stimming and running back. And Bishop is in some trouble, okay? Super saturation here. He's still mining. Here, he hasn't been for a while. We keep on hearing vessel deaths, and these two bases are mined out. So, with Killer kind of starting to take over the map, this army getting smaller and smaller for Bishop definitely makes me a bit worried. All right, stims and knocks down a Lurker there. And yeah, that's going to be a GG. Killer takes game number 1.